guys, and welcome back. I'm Rachel O'Leary, and we're briefly stopping out here in the greenhouse because I wanted to show you some progress. But then I wanted to move down to the fish room to show you a follow-up to yesterday's video on dwarf cories, as I do have 3 species in the fish room right now, and I just wanted to show you sort of the similarities and differences between the 3, so stay tuned. So my plant order is supposed to come in today, so stay tuned either tomorrow or Saturday for the video on how to pot all the plants like I've shown you before. As you can tell by all the bubbles, my husband came out here and helped me connect the loop over here so that I now have air on both sides of the greenhouse, which means as soon as these are planted and I allow them to mature for a bit, we'll be moving critters out. This weekend as well, I hope to get to work on filling the yard tubs and running their air, as well as planting them. It looks like, from looking at my forecast, we'll have really great weather the next few weeks. I've also planted a whole ton of vegetables to get started and have a lot of plans for that and some orders of various materials. But I need to know from you guys, is this sort of thing something you would also like to see on my channel, or should I just give you brief glimpses as we check in on the bins throughout the summer? Let's go down to the fish room and take a look at those dwarf cories. I thought it would be fun to show you all 3 species of CORYDORAS behaving like they do. These are CORYDORAS PYGMAEUS with that lateral stripe, and they're probably the most common of the 3 species of dwarf cory seen in the hobby. They're the smallest as well, at 1.1 inches or about 25 to 28 millimeters, and like all 3 species of dwarf cories, they like things in the mid-70s. And can take soft water to moderately hard. Now, I find these guys to be the most outgoing, the most versatile, and just absolutely adorable. Now, they are commonly confused with this fish, the CORYDORAS HASTATUS, which can be differentiated by that diamond-shaped pattern in the caudal peduncle or the base of the tail there. Now, in my experience with these guys over the years, they are really pretty darn shy unless you keep them with their conspecific tetra, which looks almost identical to them, at which time they'll school in the mid-water. And you can see both of these species actively engaging in that mid-water section, which is what makes them really, really unique to almost every other CORYDORAS species. I find it to be a particularly enjoyable behavior and really love watching them climb the glass as they are here, or schooling throughout the aquarium in large directional schools. Now, common lure is that 6 is enough of these guys, but I think it's pretty obvious when you see them in numbers like this that more is definitely better. That being said, the PYGMAEUS are relatively outgoing, even in small numbers, though I would avoid keeping HASTATUS in groups less than 10 to 12, which can be an obstacle as they can be a bit pricier than everyone else. The PYGMAEUS are just so wiggly, so cute, super outgoing, and seem to be completely oblivious to the fact that they are an exceptionally tiny little fish and are just super rewarding, as well as being quite breedable. All in all, I think both species are rewarding, though PYGMAEUS gets my vote simply for their natural outgoing behavior. Now, HABROSUS is another really popular choice. It's the largest of the 3 species of dwarf CORYDORAS, with females getting up to about 1.5 inches or 35 millimeters in length. Their care is identical to the other 2, but as you can see, they are more typical bottom-dwelling cory, meaning they act like most other species within the genus do, actively engaging with the substrate, feeding from the bottom, and still engaging in some glass climbing behavior. They also have a more typical appearance with that lateral line and the blotchiness, and truly, you know, between the 3 cories, it's almost impossible for me to say which is my favorite, because I like them for different reasons. The PYGMAEUS is my favorite of the 2 that school in the midwater because of their outgoing behavior, but there's a special place in my heart for CORYDORAS HABROSUS here, or the little salt and pepper guys, simply because of their little wiggly antics. And I have more of these in quarantine to show you guys, and I hope to increase the school in this aquarium to at least 30 to be able to show you guys how just magical they are in these larger groups. But I want to know from you, now that you've seen all 3 in direct comparison, which do you think is the best? And why? Which one would you like to keep the most?
As always, thanks for your guys' continued support. I hope you've enjoyed seeing a bit more of a direct comparison of the 3 species' behavior. And I think anyone could agree that all 3 of them are extremely worthy of keeping. Now, yesterday a bunch of you asked about hybridization, and I really don't think it's an issue with any of these species. And most specifically in that 55-gallon with all those fish, it's really unlikely that species will hybridize if they have the choice of breeding with their own kind, as in that aquarium. As always, thanks for your continued support. Make sure you're subscribed with that notification bell on so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. I hope to get all my plants potted for you guys tomorrow and really get things going out there in the greenhouse. I'm really excited to move a ton of fish out this season, and I think it's going to be the best summer tubbing season ever.